really not holding? What the Dude, I was picking this crab above the bottom, and this striper just came up and ate it right at the boat. Apparently stripers like crabs. That was weird. What is up, guys? And here with Fishing 203, and welcome back to part 2 of my Togging 101 video. First thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is how important it is to move around a little bit in your spot that you're fishing. Don't just drop the crab down there and sit and wait. The spot that we're in right now, Chris was absolutely smoking me with identical bait in the same exact spot, but only 6 feet apart from each other. Now, Todd can be quite active on some days, but on other days, like in this situation, you really had to drop the bait right on top of their heads to get them to bite. What I normally do is I use a 10-second rule. I'll leave the bait in one spot for 10 seconds. If I don't get hit, move it a couple inches either direction. It'll help you get a lot more bites. Now, the moon has a lot to do with fishing, and you guys know that, but especially saltwater because it affects the currents. This was a full moon we had, and the current was 1.5 miles stronger than it normally is. And this fish Chris had on fought like it was an 8-pounder. But a good 4 change nonetheless. So we decided to make a move because the current was just way too strong, so we go to a spot we could double anchor. And by the way, that sacrificial anchor I throw is just a 12 to 14 inch piece of 2x4 with a 3/4 inch hole drilled through the center. And I just throw some line on with a reinforced fisherman's knot. Little secret tip about shallow water togging. At high tides, the fish will come up real shallow to try to get bait that they normally couldn't get at low tide because it's out of the water. Alright, so this one's a first for me. This kid hooks into a good fish, pops off, and the sinker comes flying back and almost hits me right in the head. Alright, let's talk about rods and reels. This rod right here is my United Composite 65XO, 6'5", extra heavy, fast action. I have my Accurate Boss Valiant 300 that I did the video on with 50-pound tough line braided line, and I have spiral wrapped guides on there. This rod you occasionally see is my Jaws 7'6". This is a 30 to 60-pound blank, and I have my Shimano Trinidad 14A on here. I normally use this rod with about 30 feet of 60 or 80-pound top shot. This is my breakwall rod, but I occasionally use it for just fishing around the reefs. Under that top shot, it also has 50-pound tough line. And the reason why I spiral wrap all of my blackfishing guys is because what the spiral wrap does is it takes the twist out of the normal guides that are straight up and down, so when a fish pulls from side to side, you have complete control of it and no turn on your wrist. Brockett's rod's identical to that Jaws. It's the same blank, but he uses his Accurate Boss Fury with 65-pound tough line. On a side note, look at the size of this oyster toadfish. Oh my god. And remember, guys, it's always good to have a first mate to put your bait on for you. Well, time to back up my 6-aught Kamikatsus here. Chris catches like a 5.5 inch blackfish, and that hook is all the way in his mouth. Now, you got to set the hook on these fish and crank them off the bottom to get them out of the rocks. But if they do get stuck, just be patient, and most of the time they will swim out. And also try not to hit your buddy in the head with a sinker again. How I hook the crabs. Asian crabs, you just go either straight through like this. Make sure your fingers are on each side of the crab so the hook point doesn't get you. Or sometimes an even more efficient way is going right into the leg socket and not exposing that hook. This is how I caught that 511 in the last Togging 101 video. Now, what some of you guys might have noticed is I don't prep my green crabs at all. I just take them right out of the bucket, cut them right in half, throw it right on. Alright, and the reason why I do this, the reason why I leave the legs on and I sometimes leave the shell on, is because I want that to be on the bottom, and when a small fish hits it or I catch a fish, all those legs go all over the place down there, and it's an easier, more efficient way to chum instead of doing all that prep work. Alright guys, so I'm going to end the video here on this fish. This was one of the prettier females that I've caught. She was just absolutely gorgeous. Real white, light in color, but like very pronounced vertical bars on her. Beautiful fish, check it out. I can't thank you guys enough for watching and supporting my channel. To those who like the video, make sure you hit that like button. And to those who like the content that I'm making, please subscribe. See you guys in the next one.